On a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. 3-0 versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in Week 4. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. His first carry, and right away they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. He'll check this down to Hines. Runs through the contact. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second. And right at a yard.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at their 48-yard line.
He'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. That's caught by his tight end, Kylan Granson. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 23 yards the pickup there. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9 now. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete. Blanketed coverage by Houston. Makes it 4th down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Blankenship's kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Taken at the 15, a short kick. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Rodgers now to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Miller with a first down and more. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Swift, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead. The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category. That deserves a couple exclamation points.
I think defensively, when you look at a play like that, that's when everyone looks at their teammates and starts shaking their heads a little bit, because now you're wondering, what are we in for? Worked all week to try and limit the big play ability that he possesses, and he winds up taking one to the house in the very first quarter. That was a tremendous run.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Looking for Campbell downfield. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Colts. Well, we saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. From the gun, here's Swift. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Now Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Azeez Ojulari in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. It's taken to the 26. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
On 1st down, it's Hines. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Going jet sweep. Here's Campbell. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this 1st quarter. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This is caught by Hilton. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Throw left side here, complete to Campbell. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. On 2nd down now, it's Hines. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
They'll drop to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. From the 6. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. They run out of the gun with Swift. And this will be a Texans first down as he'll take this up to the 38-yard line.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
On 1st down, Rodgers. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
On play action, Rodgers. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Paris Campbell on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. From the 6. And he returns this to the 22.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing...
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Azeez Ojulari able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. A hole to dig out of here. 2nd and 17. Another try after the first down sack. Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner, forget starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
They'll run here with Taylor. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. Again, it'll be Taylor. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it.
And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, his second touchdown on the season. And the Colts are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. From the 6. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He's going to air one out. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7. Working with a 2nd and 3. On the handoff, Taylor. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 59 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. From the gun, it's Taylor. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll look to run with Taylor. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts have got it on cruise control. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more.
Texans 7. Rodrigo Blankenship to kick off for Indianapolis.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. From the 6. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. From the 24, Rodgers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 35. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front. Touchdown! Paris Campbell, as the first half is winding down. And the Colts would extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From the 6. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they'll take over with just 16 ticks remaining before intermission. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. From the 6. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot. Pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw is Rodgers. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. A good pickup there of 20 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 41. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Taylor. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
2nd down and 7.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
56.
Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Forced out to his left. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. Blankenship's kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So tack on 3 more, though this, it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great, too.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. First down, and they go with Swift again. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Gets through, and now an opening. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 22-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. On first down, Swift. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Right back to Swift again on second down. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Throwing is Rodgers. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. The Colts D sticking to their assignments, and that brings up fourth. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Rodgers going to go on fourth down. That's to his running back, complete. And the Texans are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. Here's Swift. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Defensively, they must have been expecting a pass. They were in the dime look out there.
I think maybe they were deciding to go with speed on the field rather than bulk. I'm with you, a little bit surprising. They wanted people getting to the ball as fast as possible. The lighter, shiftier defensive backs allow you that opportunity.
Swift is into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Oh, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively because to me, they look like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4 fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And no return on this one as that kicks out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 130 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Rodgers to throw. This is Miller, complete. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run on 1st down. Swift. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
The Texans on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run here with Swift. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Kenny Moore. 20. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what are you doing when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Taken at the 15, a short kick. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. There to stop him was Darius Leonard.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense, rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On third down, here comes Swift. And Swift is not going to get there as they stop him short of the yellow line. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
It's fourth down.
Let's go, defense.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. On first down, Swift. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
On third down, Swift. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1? They'll try it now with Swift. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. The type of game that he's having running the football, there was no doubt who they were giving the ball to.
So why didn't they just go ahead and go after him on defense? Right?
Yeah,
if
key
you know,
in on him.
Right? You know he's having that type of a game. Who else would you expect to get the football? I would have taken my chances and sold out defensively to stop him. And if anyone else picks it up, I tip my cap to him.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Behind the chain, 2nd and 13.
Check 24, check 24.
On the handoff, this is Swift. Fights through, and now a crease. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier.